tú mi síta kí káríwó sùn. So prostate cancer yìí, as I said, it's only a male that could have it. Obìnrin ò lè ní, èyí dẹ̀ kó ráyàn pé bóyá ẹni tó bá wá ní o tó bá báyàwó rẹ̀ lò yóò wá kóran, kì í ṣe irú àìsàn báyẹn. Kì í dẹ̀ mú ọmọdé tí ò bá jẹ́ pé láwọn kan tó jẹ́ pé afẹ́lẹ́ lọ́gbà àdẹ̀rú eléyìí rí o, kì í sábà ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tí ò bá ti pọ̀ mọ́ 50 ọdún. So it's an age-related disease. Kí ló máa ń fà? Torí èmi rò pé ara ń tọ́ yẹ ká bára sọ kí ló máa ń fà? Gbogbo ìwádìí tí wọ́n ti ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wa níbí and worldwide, kò sí ìwádìí kankan tó fẹsẹ̀ rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé nǹkan báyìí ló ń fà. John Layton tá a mọ̀ ní wípé ọkùnrin nìkan ló máa ń ní. So tá a bá gbé kí ló ń fà? Àkọ́ tó fà ní pé kéèyàn jọkùnrin. Táwa lè ní ká má jọkùnrin. Ẹ̀kejì tó fà ní pé kí irú ọkùnrin báyẹn o kọ́ lọ ń fún ní ẹ̀mí gígùn. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti sọ, kì í mọ́ ọmọdé, kì í mọ́ ọmọ 20 ọdún, kì í mọ́ ọmọ 30 ọdún. So for someone to have prostate cancer, one will have had some degree of longevity. Àwọn Yorùbá náà máa ń sọ wípé ọ̀pẹ̀ láyé ojú rẹ̀ ò ní rí bí ìkànnì yẹn fọ́ mú. Ara ń tọrọ mọ́ kéèyàn dàgbà, kí ọkùnrin ó dàgbà, ò ní kánsà yẹn. So kò ní ọ̀kan tó máa ń fàájú pé ìyẹn jẹ́ ọkùnrin o, Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ fún ní ọjọ́ orí. Àmọ́ tá a bá tún wá wádìí ẹ̀ lọ síwájú sí i, ó wọ́pọ̀ láàrin àwọn ẹ̀yà kan ju àwọn ẹ̀yà míì lọ. Àwa tá a jáláwọ̀ dúdú ó pọ̀ láàrin wa. It's commoner in blacks compared to the whites. It's commoner in the whites compared to the Orientals. Those are the Japanese, the Chinese. It's very, very low in them. So it's commoner in blacks, followed by the whites, and much lesser in the Orientals or the Chinese. Ó tún wọ́pọ̀ àwọn èèyàn mi wà tó yẹ pé bàbá lè ọmọ lè gbà láti ara bàbá, kò jẹ́ pé ó kó bí àìsàn o, àmọ́ ntí èèyàn máa ń tí ọmọ máa ń jogún lọ́wọ́ bàbá, ọmọ yìí jọ bàbá rẹ̀, ọmọ lè fi jọ bàbá, àbúrò lè fi jọ ẹ̀gbọ́n. So what is it that it is familiar in some cases. Tá a bá ti rí ẹnìkan ní family tó ní irú family yẹn, ó ṣeéṣe kí ọkùnrin ní òní ju tẹnìkan kò bá tí ní family yẹn rí lọ. Àwọn nǹkan míì wà táwọn èèyàn tó ti ṣèwádìí pé àbóhùn ló ń fà á, bóyá àwọn tó mu ọtí, bóyá ẹni tó mu sìgá, bóyá àwọn tó ti kárùn rí, bóyá gonorrhea àbí nǹkan báyẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ìwádìí tí wọ́n ṣe kò fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé àwọn nǹkan yẹn wọ́n ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. So téèyàn bá wá fẹ́ ní bó la ṣe mọ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn tí kìíní ẹ bá kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kì í tiẹ̀ farahàn rárá. Ẹnìyàn yóò máa lò gbèsè ayé ẹ̀ lọ bó ṣe ń lò náà ni. Nígbà tí ó bá fi ara hàn sí, yóò ti kọjá ayé rẹ̀, and that is where the problem is, because by the time it now start manifesting, it had already become advanced. Àmọ́ ní àwọn tí ó bá fi ara hàn, what are the things that people will notice? Such a man will start going to the toilet to urinate more frequently, especially at night. The person may not be able to delay urination again. So you feel pressed. Ordinarily, you are in a place where you think, àti gbọ́ mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ máa tọ̀ sí rúbà. Irú mo ṣe ń give lecture yìí, kí tó wá gbọ́n mi nísìn, kí n wá kọjú sí ògiri kí ni mo fẹ́ tọ̀, tẹ́lẹ̀ bó kò bójú mu. But ẹni tó bá nírú nǹkan yẹn, yóò kàn sọ wípé ẹjọ́ fún mi ìṣẹ́jú kan o. Torí kò ní fẹ́ tọ̀ sára àbí kó tọ̀ sí bíbá yìí sórí ẹni báyẹn kò ní lè mú ìtọ̀ mọ́ra tó bó ti yẹ kó jẹ́. àwọn míì tán bá ń tọ̀ wọ́n á rí i pé ìtọ̀ àwọn kò lágbára tó bó ti máa ń wá tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́ bóyá ẹni tó yẹ pé nígbà tá a wà ní kékeré ara tá a máa fi yan gàngbà ń gbé tá a bá dúró báyìí a lè gbé kinní sókè tá a wò bí yóò ṣe ga tó àbí nígbà míì ká máa tọ̀ sí inú yanrìn ká o bí yóò ṣe gbẹ́lẹ̀ tó àwọn tó bá nírú àìsàn yẹn wọn ní lè ṣerú yẹn má torí tó bá tiẹ̀ dúró báyìí gan pé gọ́tà nìyí o kóhun tiẹ̀ tọ̀ sínú gọ́tà ẹsẹ̀ rẹ̀ nìtọ́ máa dà sí so ìtọ̀ yìí ò ní ní agbára láti jáde mọ́. àwọn èèyàn mú àtẹ́gbẹ́ tán bá ń tọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ádà ìgbẹ́tọ̀ yẹn ti fẹ́ dúró yóò bá tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ padà ara àwọn àpẹẹrẹ tó máa ń fún yàn nìyẹn àmọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti sọ téèyàn bá ní tó bá fi fún yàn irú àpẹẹrẹ yẹn ó dà ìpè tó fẹ́ bọ́wọ́ sórí ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kì í sábà fún yàn lápẹẹrẹ ntí èdè káwọn yẹn wọ́n tètè wá nìyẹn because ntí ó bá ń ṣe wá tí ò ní kéèyàn má jẹun tí ò fọ́ yàn lórí tí ó rùn yàn nú àyàn kan ọ wá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni jàre bọ́yọ̀ omi tí mo mu lọ́pọ̀ jù so àwọn èèyàn ń tètè yọjú tó bá ti wá di pé ó wọnú ara tán yóò á máa mú àwọn nǹkan míì mọ́ irú ẹni báyẹn lè máa rù person will start getting losing weight may be getting tired and the person may be having pains in some bones that were never like that before especially the bones of the lower back the bones of the pelvic girdle upper arms and the ribs those are the areas that when the cancer is now extending those are the areas that will start disturbing. Why do someone with such cancer have pains? Gbogbo cancer jẹjẹrẹ ni Yorùbá máa ń pè àwa náà dẹ̀ mọ igi tí jẹjẹrẹ bá jẹ àmọ́ bó ṣe máa ń rí téèyàn bá gbé pákó dání tó tìkì tó báyìí èso gan lè má wọ̀ torí yóò wò tó kì dáadáa tí jẹjẹrẹ bá ti jẹ igi yẹn ìka kan lè lú so egun tí jẹjẹrẹ bá wọ̀ bó ṣe máa ń rí náà nìyẹn egun yẹn á ti wá fúyẹ́ ntí ò lágbára ó lè kan egun yẹn ìmí ti rí ẹni tó yẹ pé ó fi kọ́kọ́rọ́ sínú mọ́tò rẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kó òun start ọwọ́ tó yí báyìí apá kan rè ni what you call pathological fracture so those are some of the things but by the time one start having all those then it's already beyond salvage most of the time so if such individual come to us as doctors who want to examine because nǹkan máa ń jọra wọn kó má sí òun àwọn nǹkan míì náà wà tó lè máa ròyàn léegun tó lè jẹ́ kéèyàn máa rù tí ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé prostate problem ni so àwọn yẹ̀rù ẹni báyẹn wò àtàwọn ìwádìí mi tó bá yẹ kí a ṣe ara ìwádìí tá a máa ń ṣe yẹn ni test kan tá ń pè ní PSA àwọn ọkùnrin wa tó bá wà níbi wọn á ti fẹ́ gbọ́ rí pé àwọn kan lọ sí test kan tá ń pè ní PSA that PSA the P stands for prostate S means specific A means antigen it's an acronym prostate specific antigen is a chemical tó jẹ́ pé prostate nìkan ló máa ń produce ẹ̀ the same way that if you want to take orange juice you will need natural orange or the concentrate so you cannot cut orange and you start drinking it or you start sucking it and it's now tasting like apple no so that chemical is produced only by the prostate and if the prostate gland is diseased the level will go up the same way that if an orange has gone bad even before you start squeezing the juice it's already oozing out bad juice so the level of that chemical let us know whether the prostate gland in that individual is normal or it is diseased and if the level is high then we can now investigate the individual further to confirm what is making it to be high. So once we have now made the diagnosis pé this person has prostate cancer. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn, I saw one patient at Teju Hospital yesterday. The man came from Akure to see me. He's 68. I told him he had prostate cancer 3 years ago. So he came back to see me yesterday and he was saying that the day I told him from Ibadan to Akure that he cried. Pé so that wàá tán náà nìyẹn. Pé because tí wọ́n bá gbé yàn ní cancer, èyí náà ti máa tó túmọ̀ sí. Pé láti Ìbàdàn dákúrẹ́ lọ́jọ́ yẹn, àwọn sun ẹkún ni. But 3 years after, the man is looking well. Ó sì wà rí mi ní clinic lánàá. So tí a bá sọ pé èèyàn ní prostate cancer, it does not signify an end. Kò tí túmọ̀ sí wípé kéèyàn dẹ̀ wá máa pe àwọn ọmọ jókòó pé tí mo bá ti kú ibi ní ká ẹsẹ̀ mi sí o ká lọ pe lọ́ọ̀yà wíìlì mi mo fẹ́ change ẹ̀ ọmọ báyìí mo fẹ́ yọ ọkọ̀ kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ èyí báyìí mo fẹ́ forúkọ ẹ̀ sí. No, prostate cancer is we say it's a gentleman's cancer that people live with, long with, and die of something else rather than dying of that cancer. Of all cancers that an individual could have, it's one of the gentle ones. You know, madness has degree. Bí wèrè ní prostate cancer, téèyàn bá gbélé, kò dàbí breast cancer, àbí liver cancer, àbí stomach cancer. But that does not necessarily mean that once it is diagnosed that you can ignore it and go to the world and see no more. No. You must still give it what it's asking of you for you to live long with it. So how do we know what to give it? What to give it will depend on so many factors. The first is at diagnosis. Is that cancer still confined to the prostate alone, or has it gone to other parts of the body? That will determine what treatment the individual will have. That person, naturally, how long more does he have to live? If someone is in his 90s and he has prostate cancer, one day he will still die. So we may opt not to treat, especially if it's not the type that we think will overtake him in another 10 years. A natural process of dying will have overtaken that individual. It's a different thing if the person is in his 50s that supposedly still have a long life ahead of him. We also consider what are the other diseases that the individual is already battling with. Someone that already has heart problem, he has diabetes, he has kidney problem. Any of those will probably kill him first before prostate cancer. So we might say, leave him alone. Rather than treating his prostate cancer, focus on these other ones that will kill him first. So those are the things that determine whether we need to treat and what treatment. For people who have prostate cancer and the cancer is still confined to within the prostate, it has not transgressed its boundary, that individual can be offered a curative treatment. Curative means once you give the treatment, the person will not have any issue to do with the prostate gland for whatever remains of his life. He has been cured. But if the cancer has already gone beyond its boundary, even kéèyàn kúrò ní Nàìjíríà kó lọ sí lóṣùpá, ìtọ́jú ló máa gbà, kò lè gba ìwòsàn mọ́. I'm mentioning this in particular because a lot of time people will say, my father-in-law that had prostate cancer in America, they cured him. How come that in Nigeria they say he cannot be cured? Or my brother that had prostate cancer, when he went to India, they cured him. It's only in Nigeria they cannot cure. No, we can also cure prostate cancer in Nigeria. But the type of prostate cancer that is curable is one that is detected before it starts to disturb the individual. Once it starts disturbing the individual, the person is already losing weight, is having pain in the back, he can no longer eat well, he can no longer walk. Even if he goes to mass, it is still treatment the person will take, not cure. It's important. In those places where they cure prostate cancer, they don't wait until the disease starts disturbing before they diagnose it. I'm aware that in some countries of the world, at certain age, whether you like it or not, you are mandated to do some tests. You are 50 years old, they already have your data. You just look at your mailbox and you see a letter. When you open it, it may be from the government. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Lagbaja. According to our record, you are 50 years today. We are happy we celebrate with you. Go to your GP. Do this test, do this test, do this test. If you don't do those tests, they are waiting for you. They won't be chasing after you. Once you want to renew your life insurance, you get there, Mr. Lagbaja, you are 51 years old now. Where is your result of this test? I'm here to do it. If you are supposed to pay 10 naira as your premium, it will now go to 30 naira because you are at risk. They don't know what you have, so you can die anytime. The insurance money will go up. You want to take a loan, you go to the bank. They say, oh, you are 50 something years old. Have you done this test? I've not. Sorry, we cannot give you loan because you may not complete payment until you die, because so disease can kill someone in your age group. So anywhere you go, you are met with those obstacles. So you are mandated to do those tests. Whereas in our own part of the world, until we start having issues, we don't subject ourselves to examination. In fact, when we have issues, I'm sure majority of us, when someone has a headache, we will start with his baba. Ó dà pé orí ti kún, tí orí bá kún lórí máa ń fọ́ mi, yóò kọ́ lọ gẹrun. If after babbing the headache does not go, he will go to the nearby neighborhood patent medicine dealer. Wọ́n á kà mẹ́wàá fún ní 10 naira. Ojú ológbò kan wà ńbẹ̀, Panadol méjì, bóyá multivite kan, vitamin B kò kan, chloroquine méjì. Nígbà ọba lò yẹn tí ọba lọ lórí fífọ́ lọ, yóò sọ àwọn ti pé ó dà gbọ́kùnrin kan wà tí ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní UCH àbílájì Ọ̀yọ́ tí ń gbàdúgbò yìí, bóyá dírẹ́fà tiẹ̀ ni, bóyá kọ́ńdọ́kítọ̀ ni ní UCH, dọ́bà tí ń wọ tó ń dọ́kítọ̀ náà ni yóò lọ rí ìhù, òun náà dàn tó wù wò. So by the time tí irú ẹni bá máa wá lọ sí ọ̀dàn tó yẹ kó rí gan, ó ti fàkókò ṣòfò. Bó ti máa ń rí lọ́dọ̀ tiwa nìyẹn. Àwọn tí a bá rí kánsà yẹn tí kò tí ì kọjá ààyè rẹ̀, as I said, they can be cured completely, and there are many ways by which that could happen. We can do surgery, we can do radiotherapy, we can do some other form of treatment, but prostate cancer can be cured if detected early. That is the if. But once it's not detected early, nowhere in the world can the person be cured, but it can be treated and contained. And treating it and containing it may also be for a very long time. I have some patients that have been treating for incurable prostate cancer. I have a particular man since 2002. 2002 to date is 21 years, and he had a disease that we said was incurable. Even many people that did not have cancer have passed on in 21 years. I have some 2006, 2008, 2011. I remember, it's just that I cannot be mentioning names. Some of them are renowned people in the society. that have been living with the disease. So if you say it cannot be cured, it does not mean the end has come. You can still contain it and turn it to another disease like hypertension, like diabetes. We don't cure all those diseases. We only suppress them. We don't cure hypertension medically. Spiritually, it could be cured, maybe from the alternative, but orthodox medicine, hypertension is not curable. Diabetes is not curable. But people can live 50, 60, 80 years for as long as they are using their drugs and they are obeying their doctor's instruction. We can turn prostate cancer to something like that we can continue to manage for as long as the person is obeying instructions. So it does not mean the end has come. In such individuals, it might entail removing the testes. Maybe if questions come around that, I'll explain further. What has testes got to do with treating prostate cancer? We can give some injections, we can give some tablets, but those that cannot be cured can be managed. So what are the things we have noticed regarding or concerning prostate cancer in Nigeria as practitioners? What you call peculiarities of prostate cancer in Nigeria. The first thing is that it's the number one cancer in Nigerian men, and that's why there's a lot of noise about it. Chances that a Nigerian man will have prostate cancer in his lifetime, 1 out of every 12 men will have prostate cancer in his lifetime. So if he can't 12 here now, one of us may likely have prostate cancer in his life. It is that common, 1 in 12. The knowledge about prostate cancer, how it manifests and what to be done is very, people don't have that knowledge. It's very, very low. The knowledge, the awareness, the risk factors, very, very low. And that is why gatherings like this, no matter how busy I am, I try to make myself available to disseminate that knowledge. Because when people don't have information from the right source, they will be misinformed from wrong sources. It's extremely low. So most patients who have prostate cancer in this environment, they present very, 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 very late at a stage that there is not much we can do for them. And that is why it always appears as if, oh, those Nigerian doctors, they don't know what they are doing. Most times we know what we are doing. The Nigerian doctors, the American doctors, the Indian doctors, we all read the same books. We meet. In fact, when we meet, they give kudos to us. That, you said this person has this, and you are able to do this. No, I need to talk with you. When we go to conferences, they follow us around. That you are able to do this. No, we don't have such experience in our place. They want to know how you manage to. But the prophet is not in his hometown or in his place, is not usually respected. The treatment for prostate cancer, majority of what could be done is actually available in Nigeria. The skills are there, the technologies are there, the medications are there, except for some experimental treatment. Majority of what could be done. In fact, recently I have a patient who was on a particular drug. He is a retiree of CBN. So he was referred to me at Highland Hospital at Yemetu. He had been having treatment from UK, and they wrote some medications for him. And he came to Nigeria. He came to me and said his fear was this particular drug that they put him on They said maybe it will not be available in Nigeria. And I said, hold on, I'll call someone now. And I called the person. That particular drug in UK at present is 2,375 pounds. That drug in Nigeria is only 650,000 naira. For people who know what pound is now, you can multiply 2,375 by 1,200 naira. I know how much will come about. Whereas it's even cheaper in Nigeria than in UK. Why is it cheaper? It's cheaper because majority of the drugs we use in Nigeria come from India. It doesn't mean that they are not effective. They're because the people who manufacture them in UK, they pay more to get them manufactured. If you hire a labor in UK, maybe you are paying £10 per hour. If you hire a labor in India, you will be paid equivalent of maybe £1 per hour. So at the end of the day, producing the drug in India is much cheaper than producing it in UK. So it's much more expensive in UK. So I called the person, and the man was pleasantly surprised that was his fear. That once the one that they gave him get exhausted, then he will be. So those are actually available. The treatment is available, but the problem is oftentimes they are expensive and beyond the reach of me and you, the common men. So why do our patients present late in Nigeria? Because that is what we have always noticed. Someone has a cancer, and by the time he is coming to you, even if it's the one that you want to operate, you are not even sure whether you want to take the patient from the cancer or take the cancer from the patient, because the cancer is even bigger than the patient. And that is what we always notice. Why? Number one thing we have noticed is poverty of money, of knowledge, of ideas. Poverty is a terrible thing. But it's not just poverty, not having money. People also have poverty of knowledge. There's lack of awareness and misinformation. You see some people, they say, oh, if you to prevent your prostate being enlarged, you may be jumping up 4 times a day before you go to bed. It's nonsense. I've seen a lot of things on the internet. They say if you don't want to have prostate problem, do this every day before. Sometimes when I see some of them, and people send them to me to say, Dr. Adebayo, they say you can do this. The way I look at some of the people who send it to me, did this person go to school? Does it even make sense? Does it make sense? So a lot of things that people put, that they dump on us nowadays, they don't have any bearing at all. Then we have poor healthcare policies. We like data. If you ask me today, or if you ask most of our policy makers today, how many children are born in Nigeria this month so far? They say maybe go to other places, they will tell you, oh, as of 10 a.m. this morning, there have been 1 million children born this month. How many people have died in Nigeria today? We don't, in fact, this month, we don't know. People are died that they don't even get to the knowledge of the government. Whereas, go to other places, they will tell you, as of 10:30 a.m. this morning, this number of people have died this month. This number were males, this number were females, these were children, these were elderly people. So we don't have data. And when you don't have data, you cannot plan. Because Yorùbá ní baálé ilé tí ò bá mọ èèyàn tí ń bọ́ bó ló ti fẹ́ lé tó làbí ọdẹ. So we don't have data. And then our We have poor health service deliveries. Our hospitals are unfriendly, extremely unfriendly. When someone get referred to UCH, for instance, ọkọ máa bú sẹ́kún ní pé UCH ẹjọ́ sẹ́mi ò lè lọ bòmí ní ẹjọ́ UCH. Some of us that work there too, we know. I oftentimes say jokingly that UCH is like Jebalagungu Sanwó-Oládé Ọ̀yọ́. This is where you want to take the service. They will give you paper there. You go and make payment there. You go and present the card there. And these places are far and apart. And then you don't even have people that will direct you. Well, okay, once you pay there, so chances are you made the payment there. You first of all come to where they give you the paper. I've paid. That's the end. If you have paid, you come. What has that got to do with it? Rather, I even tell you that, once you have paid, though, you need to take it there too. You won't. You say, don't bother me, you have paid. Say any kilo can if you have paid. So the hospital environment is extremely unfriendly. People that work there are also Nigerians. But as I always tell people, we have one problem in Nigeria. Once you have little power or authority over a fellow Nigerian, you exercise that power maximally. Those days of environmental sanitation, if you see Boy Scout or man no war lasan, once you start dressing up, adekogoko madi. Tó bá rí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ bàbá rẹ̀ tí ń lọ, why did you go out? Come down. Ordinary Boy Scout. And that is who we are. When you see the record officer tí wọ́n ní kó yọ káàdì fáwọn èèyàn, tí wọ́n bá dé bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ dákun wọ́n ní àwa gba káàdì ni. Ẹ wọ́n ń bọ̀ lágo kínní kan, àwọn ẹgbẹ́ yẹn àtàrọ̀ náà ti ń wá kínní kan. Àbí ẹni tó fẹ́ pè ó ti wo káàdì tí wọ́n fún o. This is an 82-year-old man. Òun 23. Bàbá yẹn ó dàgbà ju grandfather gan lọ. Bàtí ó bá pè sàkásá bítù bí ò tiẹ̀ rí alájí ń bẹ̀, tí ò rí reverend, tí ò rí chief, tí ò rí ọ̀túnba, ẹni tó bá jẹ́ 80-something-year-old man ó ti ní title already ready. Ta ni bàbá sàkásá bítù o, ó tiẹ̀ respect ẹ̀ díẹ̀. So the hospital environment is extremely. So we really can't put all the blame on people that don't come. Until it's really necessary, you don't want to go to the hospital because of what you meet when you go there. And then we have people that claim to be what they are not, what I call dabbling surgeons. It's unfortunate that I cannot project. I have a lot of such on my laptop. You see, Kinikan Specialist Hospital. Tẹ́ ẹ bá débẹ̀ bí ibùjẹran ni. Ládẹ̀ ní Specialist Hospital tó wà láàrin agboolé ẹ̀ẹ́dà gọ́tà kọjá ẹ̀ẹ́tẹ̀gbẹ́ ewúrẹ́ mọ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀ẹ́tẹ̀gbẹ́ èèyàn mọ́lẹ̀ Specialist Hospital náà sì ni. You go to some places ẹ̀rí àwọn kan ó gbèrè ó ní láti gbé kọ̀ǹpútà kan dé tán bá ti dè mọ́ lápá báyìí gbogbo ti mẹ́nu ara rẹ̀ ní ọ̀sọ̀ kódà gan oúnjẹ tó jẹ láàárọ̀ yóò sọ ìrọ̀ ló ń jẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ sà. Ibi táwọn ti ṣe kọ̀ǹpútà yẹn àwọn náà sì ń ṣe PSA wọ́n ṣe blood sugar test wọn ò dẹ̀ láìkì Nàìjíríà àtàwọn èèyàn wọn lọ ká ní nǹkan báyẹn wà Nàìjíríà kan wọ́n kọ̀ọ̀kan gbé wá ọ̀dọ̀ ara wọn ó ti kọ́kọ́ máa lò ó gbàwọn olólọ́dọ̀ ara wọn wọ́n wá gbọ́ bá pé àwọn kan wá sọ fún gbà China ni wọ́n ti ṣe wọ́n tán bá ti dè mọ́ lápá báyìí gbogbo àrùn tí ń bẹ lára ẹni ọ̀sán gbogbo owó téèyàn bá san fún ẹni báyẹn sàrà lèèyàn ṣe kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ báyẹn. So we have a lot of that. Of course àwọn tewétegbò náà wà ń bẹ kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ ni kíní kan inú ara ni ẹlòmíì gan òtí ẹ̀mọ́ tó ń jẹ́ prostate wọ́n tún spẹ́lì ẹ̀ wọ́n tún ti spẹ́lì ẹ̀ ó sì ló ń tọ́jú ẹ̀ ntọ́ ọmọ tó jẹ́ tán bá ní ntọ́ ń tọ́jú yìí gangan páàtì bó lọ́wọ́ àánú ara kò mọ́ yóò sì ní à tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ẹ má lọ hospital o tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ní asétọ̀ ẹ máa lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá gbogígbogì òkògbòwò èsì bí máa tòsí ẹ lọ bèrè òun lájàsẹ́ epo ẹ lọ bèrè òun gánà kò ní pé ẹ mọ̀ bọ́lá kó bọ̀ kẹ́ bèrè òun wọ́n mọ̀ pé wọ́n lè wádìí kò ní pé ẹ lọ mọ́kànlá kẹ́ bèrè òun ẹ tẹ́ ẹ bá dé Togo ẹ sọ pé ẹ bèrè bàbá kinní kan who will now go to Togo to be asking of bàbá kinní kan so òkòbó ohun èbí máa tòsí. The last part of my lecture will be what are the things that a man could do so that the person will not have prostate cancer. I am sorry to disappoint you that there is none. There is none. So far, all things have been tested. Don't eat this. Eat tomato. Is it raw tomato? Is it boiled tomato? Eat carrot. Use this. There is none that has been conclusively shown that, oh, once you do this or you eat this, forget prostate cancer. None. So because we know that there is nothing one could do not to have it, the focus is on detecting it when it can still be cured. What you call early diagnosis. Worldwide, that's the focus. All those tẹ bá ti ń gun ẹ má gun kẹ̀kẹ́ o ẹ tó bá ti ń gun kẹ̀kẹ́ yóò ní prostate cancer tóbìnrin yóò bá ti ṣe nǹkan oṣù mọ́ ẹ má bá dùn mọ́ o ẹ tó bá ti ń súnmọ́ obìnrin tí ò ṣe nǹkan oṣù mọ́ yóò ní prostate. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. Kò ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. So the focus is on early diagnosis. But there are some things that make sense. You can change your lifestyle. Avoid smoking. Because smoking is like what is written that seek ye first the kingdom of God. Others are added unto you. Once you start smoking, there are many diseases. It may not necessarily be prostate cancer, but you are prone to developing some other problem. So avoid smoking. If you want to take alcohol, take it in moderation. That's what I preach. Moderation. Make yourself active. Don't just because you are retired, you are now sitting at home, cross leg, watch Z World or African Magic from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. You are inviting trouble. Keep yourself busy. Are there food that one could eat to prevent prostate cancer? Again, as I said, people have talked of food that are low in fat, green tea, tomato, leafy onion. If you can tolerate them, you can take them, but there have been no known benefits against prostate cancer. Maybe they could help you in some other diseases. So I won't say don't take them. If they don't help you with prostate cancer, they may help some other things. But as far as prostate cancer is concerned, they don't help. Vitamin E, selenium, things like that. No. So what are those measures that could now make one to diagnose it early? Some of those measures are what we are doing today, awareness. Some people here, maybe one person, maybe two people, maybe more, will not have heard of prostate cancer before. They are hearing about it today. And they too will go home and say, oh, we had a lecture on this. Awareness. Regular medical checkups. And when you do the checkup, there are things that we check depending on your circumstances. I think I'll rest it there. Thank you. Let me just be answering so that no, let me answer him as well. As I said, gbogbo ìwádìí tí wọ́n ti ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wa níbí láwọn ibòmíì kò ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú pé èèyàn níyàwó kan tó ń bá lò lójoojúmọ́ àbò níyàwó mẹ́fà àbí ò tiẹ̀ ní kankan. Èmi kékeré gan mo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn fada tí wọ́n níyàwó ni mo ti tọ́jú àwọn ilé mọ́mù tẹ́níyàwó bíi méje mẹ́jọ. So ìwádìí ò fi hàn pé bóyá téèyàn bá ń bóbìnrin lò dáadáa àbí kò tiẹ̀ bá obìnrin lò. Ìwádìí ní orthodox medicine ibi tó bá dé lónìí la máa ń sọ dé. Ó wá lè di ọ̀la o kí wádìí mi wá sọ pé nǹkan mi o àmọ́ bí tí wádìí yẹn dé dúró lónìí kò ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú pé bóyá èèyàn bá yẹn lò kò bóbìnrin lò ó bóbìnrin tó ti tí ò ṣe nǹkan oṣù mọ́ lò àbí kò bá kíní kan kò ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Ṣé wọ́n máa ń castrate ọkùnrin fún prostate cancer? The answer is yes. The reason mean that ẹ̀rí kí mo sọ mọ́rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan wípé téèyàn bá ní prostate cancer tọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ bá jẹ mọ́ ká castrate in fact tí patient bá wá sọ́dọ̀ mi sọ pé ok doctor kan sọ pé ó ní cancer bóyá lọ́dún 5 sẹ́yìn ìtọ́jú òun náà fún yín wọ́n castrate àwọn in tó túmọ̀ sí fẹ́mi ni pé as of the time tí wọ́n diagnose cancer yẹn o ẹni tó diagnose ẹ sọ pé àti káwọ́ sẹ́yìn o ẹni cancer yìí torí pé prostate ó require chemical kan tó wá láti testis to survive bó ṣe pé àwa náà a nídìí oúnjẹ láti survive so oúnjẹ tí prostate cancer ń jẹ ẹpọ̀n ló ń produce ẹ̀ ìdí tá a ti máa ń castrate nìyẹn bẹ̀tà bá ti castrate èèyàn ìtọ́jú ni kò kí ń ṣe ìwòsàn tí ntẹ̀yẹ̀ bá máa jẹ bá tán ntẹ̀yẹ̀ ọ̀ máa jẹ ní kú tó bá dọjọ́ iwájú cancer ó rí nǹkan míì tí ìjẹ́gbé testis ló ti ń wá yóò tún máa grow padà but tá a bá castrate ó máa ń suppress ẹ̀ fún ìgbà kan ẹlòmíì ó lè suppress bí ọdún 5 ẹlòmíì gan lè tọ́dún 10 ẹlòmíì lè má ju oṣù 6 lọ tí ó fi rí nǹkan míì tó sọ pé the answer to your question is yes but we do it only for people that we have accepted that this man can no longer be cured. Let's just do this to suppress the disease for some time.
Sincerely, I want to appreciate your lectures. To the best of my knowledge, if I heard you well, you defined cancer first, and later you talked about prostate. As a prostate here, every male person lonely. Normal male person, and prostate. Okay, and then cancer ó develop. A such example pé bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ra a plot of land tó rọra kọ́lé kan bàbá ọmọ as time goes on multiplication and increment are setting. Yeah, mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ what is the cogent factor tẹ́ fi marry prostate and cancer? That is my first question. Secondly, sọ̀rọ̀ nípa age ẹni tí ó bá ti attain probably 50 years may not likely yes ó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké wọn lè ní much experience nígbà rẹ̀. Now days nígbà ayé àwọn bàbá wa wọ́n máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ gan, rigorous work, predominantly farmers tó yẹ pé wọ́n á ṣiṣẹ́ gan and till death ẹ ní rí kí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn yọjú. Ẹ sọ nípa pé awareness ìsìn ló mú kí àwọn èèyàn kọ́ máa fẹ́ sáré pé I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Nígbà yẹn ẹ sọ pé kò sí awareness, kí ló dé tí ò setting nígbà yẹn? Nígbà mo experience nígbà kan pé because of the rigorous work they do à ń pe kinní kan ní kinní appendix tó máa ń operate lára àwọn bàbá yẹn kò kì í sábà jẹ jáde but it is predominant now. That is another question. Ẹ̀kẹta ẹ sọ nípa pé one of the ways tí ẹ fi lè bóyá curative means ni o àbí to manage is to remove testes. So I want to know bóyá irú yẹn testes tẹ bá remove yẹn bóyá wọ́n máa cure ẹ̀ pátápátá ni àbòsí máa manage ẹ̀ do. And now some of us believe pé during wet weathers tí oòrùn ò mú torí another process of kí ẹ máa pass omi síta is when you sweat but during temperature tó bá ti àtàwọn tó likely kọ́ máa mu bí ẹ̀kọ́ nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn in the night a rí pé wọ́n visit toilet 2, 3, 4, 10. When is the minimum or what is the minimum time àbí numbers of time tí wọ́n lè visit toilet.
Let me start with that question. Maybe you remind me of the others if I missed them. What is the minimum time till you visit toilet? A man should, between the time you go to bed and the time you wake up, for a number of people, you don't wake up at all to urinate until early in the morning. That is the minimum, none at all. But it now depends on each individual and what you take before you go to bed. Nowadays, àwọn èèyàn ní àwọn ṣe water therapy wọ́n ti kà lórí TikTok pé before you go to bed warm water take 10 cups so that the fat in your liver will not become solid so that you can flush your system. Ṣéyàn bá mu omi kọ́ọ̀pù mẹ́ta láago mẹ́wàá alẹ́ tó wá ló ń dítọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹrin lóru kílẹ̀ tó mọ́ it's like mádọ́gbé it's like ẹni tó tẹ pẹ́dà mọ́tò tó wá ń complain kò sáré. So minimum is none, but depending on the individual and your lifestyle, maybe once or twice before daybreak. But by the time you are waking up 3-4 times to urinate at night, then definitely something is wrong. You talk about in cold weather, it's not just what you believe, because you said some of us believe. It's actually something that has been scientifically proven. Omi tó ń jáde lára wa come out in many ways. There are ways that we know. There are ways that we are not even aware of that we call insensible laws. When you do this, you see moisture in your hand. Insensible laws. When you defecate, ìgbẹ́ ẹ̀ bó ṣe wulẹ̀ kó le tó omi wà lára ẹ̀. Ara insensible losses. The sensible losses are urine and sweat. So in hot weather, you realize that you pass less urine, and urine is very concentrated. Because whether you like it or not, there are some chemicals that have to leave your body, and they live with urine. A lot of time, pass waste. Ìgbẹ́ is not waste. Ìtọ̀ gangan ló contain waste products, because ìgbẹ́ oúnjẹ tá a jẹ tí ò ti sara lóore tí ò jẹ ìwọnú ara rárá ló bá gbé jáde. Ìtọ̀ ntí a jẹ ntá a lò tí ara ti lo èyí tó wúlò níbẹ̀ tán, the end product tí tí ò sára lóore mọ́ ohun tó ṣẹ́kù níbẹ̀ àmì bí gbé èèyàn nísìnyí ó fẹ́ mu ó ṣẹ́ ògì àbí ó gbọ́n èlùbọ́ ó wá da ìta rẹ̀ nù ìtọ̀ ló máa bá jáde kò ń ṣègbè ìgbẹ́ ń tá a jẹ tí ò tẹ̀ wọnú ara rárá tí wọ́n gbé bá a ṣe jẹ́ yẹn ìgbà tára mú ìyìn tó máa mú níbẹ̀ tán ìyókù kan pásọ ìlànà nígbẹ̀ so naturally whether o kọ o fẹ́ o kọ tí nǹkan kò bá ṣèyàn o gbọ́dọ̀ tọ̀ láti jẹ́ káwọn wéèsì yọ jáde torí wéèsì yẹn ò ní jáde ní wọn ní bá oògùn jáde wọn àdẹ̀ ní jáde ní solid kidney ló máa fà wọn kúrò nínú ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó wá máa gbé wọn sínú tọ̀ and that is why tí kidney wọn bá fail bí ìgbà tán mu poison ni because gbogbo tí kidney yẹn bá fail gbogbo ajẹ̀bà ajẹ̀fùfú ajẹ̀ran dídì báyìí lẹ́yìn tó máa kí poison lòún jẹ because end product wọn poison ni alo paracetamol ara ń ro mímu lókè nìkan poison ni tí ò bá sí kidney tó máa ntí ó gbẹ̀yìn tá a lò yẹn ntó kẹ́yìn poison ni kidney ló máa wá kó poison yẹn kúrò nínú ara tó máa jẹ́ kó bá ìtọ̀ jáde. I think I've answered 2 of your questions. If you could remind me of the remaining 2, that's why I said you may need to remind me. Yeah, removal of I already answered that in the course of my talking. I said if someone has prostate enlargement and he goes to people, he has prostate cancer and he goes to people who know what they are doing, because that's another keyword. He's seen the right person and that person says, oh sir, we are going to remove your testes. It means that cancer is no longer curable. It's only cancer is a treatment, not a cure. And that is why I said, ó dàbí bàtí yẹn bá gba oúnjẹ lẹ́nu èèyàn nígbà tó bá yọ máa rí nǹkan mi tó máa jẹ. So it's only for some time. In fact, on average, it's a treatment, not a cure. Removing testes for prostate cancer does not cure prostate cancer. It only treats it. I think there's still one other question that. There is no. Why do you relate? I said the only factor that link them is that prostate is a part of the body. Just like you have eyes, you have brain, you have hand. Cancer can grow from any part of the body. There is no part of the body that is immune from cancer. The same with prostate. There is no part of, because as I said, cancer develops from cells. The building block of human body are cells. So any of those cells could decide to go haywire. The same way, that's why I said cancer is like a mad person. There is no family that someone cannot become mad in that family. None. If the circumstances are right. There is no family worldwide that you can say in my family nobody can grow mad. You cannot. If the environment is ripe, if the circumstances are ripe, if the person is doing what will make him to go mad, he will go mad. So prostate cancer, we marry them because prostate is a part of the body and it's made up of cells as its building block. The same way you have in the eye, you have the ear, you have whatever. So cancer can grow from any part of the body. Prostate is not excluded.
àjíǹde ara máa jẹ́. Ìbéèrè tèmi ni wípé tí ẹ̀ bá wá fẹ́ ṣe àyẹ̀wò prostate cancer yìí náà nìsín bó la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀nà wo la gbégbà bó la fẹ́ ṣe nípa ẹ̀. Okay, thank you.
èèyàn bá ní kinní yìí àbí àpẹẹrẹ olè ní màmá tí ẹ fi máa mọ̀ pé èèyàn.
bóyá ẹpẹ́kẹ́ tó dé ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà tó bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kì í fún yàn lápẹẹrẹ the same thing with many other cancers by the time tó bá fún yàn ní àpẹẹrẹ ó dàgbò ti fẹ́ bọ́ sórí kí ni àwọn àpẹẹrẹ tí yàn máa ní àkọ́kọ́ ni pé ẹni máa níyọnu láti tọ̀ ó lè máa tọ̀ lemọ́lemọ́ lóru ìtọ̀ lè má máa wá dáadáa tó kò sì yẹ kó wá tó bá tó sáà kan because ìyẹn kò mí ìpéyàn ní cancer even tí prostate yẹn bá tóbi tó jẹ́ pé ọjọ́ orí ló jẹ́ kó tóbi èyí ò níyọnu láti tọ̀ náà tó bá di ọjọ́ iwájú téèyàn tó kọbi ara sí cancer yẹn wà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yọwọ́ tiẹ̀ ẹni yẹn máa rù ó lè má lè jẹun dáadáa àwọn egungun bìkan máa ró tí ó dẹ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ egungun ẹ̀yìn egungun gbárùkù òkè apá òkè itan bẹ̀bà ìtàn tẹ́yàn bá ní gbogbo yẹn ìtọ́jú ní ọgbà kò lè gbà wòsàn mọ́ káńsà ti kọjá yẹ bẹ̀ tó bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kì í fún yàn lápẹẹrẹ ìdí náà la máa sọ pé káwọn èèyàn máa dúró nígbà tí àpẹẹrẹ bá ń sọ wọ́n kán máa ṣe àyẹ̀wò ara wọn lóòrèkóòrè àwọn àyẹ̀wò wà tẹ́ pé even tẹ́yìn ọba ní tí káńsà yẹn ọba máa dà yẹn láàmú tí ọba jọ yàn lẹ́nu tí ó fún yàn ní àpẹẹrẹ ní ọdún mẹ́ta síwájú àwọn àyẹ̀wò wà tẹ́ pé lọ́dún yìí wọ́n ti rí àyẹ̀wò yóò ti rí pé ẹni yìí o tí ò bá sọ́ra rẹ̀ lọ́dún mẹ́ta o nǹkan yìí ó ṣe irú stéèjì yẹn tá a bá ti wá tètè mójútó irú ẹni báyẹn ó lè gbà wòsàn.